You're watching Discovery Channel.
Hi, I'm Jay Ingram. What do you think would happen if you hooked up a parachute to a go-kart for two? Well, a little something we like to call flight. As you can see, already we have a high-flying show ready for takeoff, but Kim and I will manage to keep our feet firmly planted on the ground to figure out some other curious things, like the height of the pitcher's mound in baseball and how it might cause wear and tear on the pitchers themselves.
But first, we'll talk about and show you a story of a really cool way of getting around. I drive a Mini, and I, for some reason, compare it to a go-kart. It's a lot of fun. It's fun and funky. But what if your go-kart could fly? Now, that would be a really cool way of getting around. Early morning in the Australian outback. Time to fire up the engines. On what appears to be a go-kart attached to a parachute. The Aerochute might look a little precarious, but its inventor, Stephen Conte, says no worries.
Nobody's been killed, so we've got a good record.
What sets this Aerochute apart from similar flying vehicles is the seating. With a lot of other powered parachutes, the seating is tandem, one person behind another. But Stephen wanted a more open concept vehicle so he could enjoy the view with someone else. The side-by-side seating here means a great view for both people. All the better for spotting kangaroos in the outback. And this style comes with an additional benefit. It gives the whole vehicle stability. The wide frame means they can attach the parachute to the cart in 4 places.
We have a 4-point pickup, which gives a lot more stability in flight as well. So if you get a gust of wind which bounces you around, the whole machine moves with the canopy, so you don't get any porpoising action.
Of course, the safety features built into the Aerochute were no design accident.
The whole design spec was to make it safe for people to fly.
Here in Melbourne, Australia, is where the whole thing comes together. John Conte is in charge of manufacturing the Aerochute.
We make the whole machine. We start from the raw material. We just order the raw material and we do all the cutting, the drilling. We build all the parachutes. We build the seat belts, the seats material. The only thing that we actually do order in is the engines and the propellers. The rest of it we manufacture the whole thing in-house.
The triangular frame makes the Aerochute strong.
A triangle's the strongest shape you can get, so we've tried to make it exactly the same as a triangle with the front wheel in the middle and the 2 back wheels joined at the back.
This frame isn't going to break up on a hard touchdown, not that landings are usually rough.
We don't need suspension. Having the parachute, it just comes down nice and gently.
The parachute is the fail-safe system on this flying machine.
Having its parachute as its wing makes it the safest aircraft in the world.
If the engine dies on the Aerochute, the whole thing just floats to the ground on its 370-foot-long canopy.
It's made of ripstop nylon, which means that if it gets a tear in the fabric, it doesn't tear all the way through. The parachute will take up to 350 kilos of weight, and the whole machine itself only weighs 100 kilos, so you've got an extra 250 kilos to take up.
Of course, with a huge parachute overhead, there's always the possibility of sending the thing into a nosedive.
So we have a foot throttle at the front here. As you push the foot throttle down, you'll climb. Take the foot throttle off, you'll descend. We have 2 steering toggles, so you pull left and right to steer.
To prevent people from yanking too hard on either toggle, they've engineered this safety feature.
With these anti-stall rings, you can only pull the angle of attack to a certain point.
No spinning wildly out of control. In fact, the Aerochute is so stable and easy to control that it's allowed them to break a world record.
It's the first powered parachute to be in the Guinness Book of Records.
One of the pilots made 29 turns in the air, less than 20 feet above the ground. For Steve, however, the excitement of flying this machine is not the world record, it's the simplicity.
So it's something that anybody can get into.
In just 20 hours of flying, you can obtain your flying license. That beats the 80 hours it takes to get a fixed-wing pilot's license. You can fly for 2 hours at 60 kilometers.
It's not something that you're going to go long distances with, but it's something to give you the thrill and the excitement of flying.
And when you can fly low over a pack of kangaroos in the Australian outback, with nothing obstructing your view, it seems like Steve might have a valid point.